Hi, I'm Liam Thorpe.
And I'm Michael Mambo.
And this is Team Talk. That's right, guys, this is Team Talk, and it's the first episode of 2013. Happy New Year from us, and it was a very happy New Year for some clubs yesterday in the English Premier League. There was a whole host of goals and great games on the 1st of January. Let's have a look at those games and the results that occurred. Some interesting results there. Which one immediately grabbed your attention?
Well, the United one immediately grabbed my attention because it was back to business for the Devils.
And Robin Van Persie, we know it's a bit of a sore subject with you. He was on seriously impressive form yesterday, wasn't he?
Well, Robin Van Persie is Robin Van Persie. You're always guaranteed to get goals from him because he's that good of a striker.
Now, a lot of the focus will, of course, correctly have been on the strikers for United. Chicharito, Javier Hernandez bagging 2, and the aforementioned Van Persie getting the other 2. But perhaps for some serious United fans, the real result will be that's 2 clean sheets now. Is there a turnaround in their defensive fortunes?
I wouldn't say turnaround. This is just the level of opposition they were playing with. When they get better teams, obviously they will concede. But the nice thing is that they're scoring more and more goals. So if it goes down to the wire, United may win it with a superior goal difference.
And of course, history tells us that this is where United kick on and push towards the league now. They're clearly favourites, right? 7 points clear. How much? Well, basically, what does City have to do? I mean, do they have to just rely on United messing up?
No, City just need to keep on playing well. They need to forget about United and the 7 points. Just make sure they win the next game and the next game, and they will get there.
Okay, well, we're talking about City there, and they, of course, won 3-0 against Stoke, which maintained that 7-point gap, and it was all City, really, wasn't it? This was, again, another comfortable victory and something their fans will have loved.
Yes, it's something that City need to focus more on. Just make sure they get the 3 points. United will drop points, and City can capitalize on that.
Okay, and although quick bit of injury news, because Sergio Aguero, who of course scored the penalty in that 3-0 win, he pulled a hamstring and rather interestingly may well be missing for the game at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal on January the 13th. Now, we know you're an Arsenal fan, that's got to be good news for you guys, hasn't it?
It's not good news. Well, as a football fan, I always love to see the best, even if the best is not in my team. But it makes the game more boring. Just like I would like to see the first Arsenal 11 against the first City 11, but that's never going to happen because most of the first Arsenal 11 are permanently on the table.
But he is one of the top strikers in the league, isn't he? And can Edin Dzeko, we saw he scored again yesterday. Can he fill the gap?
He can more than fill the gap. They have that quality in depth. They've got Balotelli, even though people say he's a bit of a detriment, but he is a very good player. You saw that during the European Championship.
Okay, well that's the top two sorted. The gap of 7 points stays exactly the same. But the big movers is Spurs, who cement their third place. Well, I say cement it. Chelsea have got a couple of games in hand, but another impressive win for them. 3-1 against Reading. Adebayor on the score sheet. You know, they're looking good, aren't they? They've not lost in 5 games now.
Yeah, they are looking good, getting the results they need, and even when they're not playing too well, they manage to still win 2-1, which is different. Whereas before, they would have probably lost those matches. But it boils down to Spurs having the first 11 fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is key. But once they start missing key players, that's when we're going to really see where they'll end up at the end of the season. But I hope they maintain the momentum they have.
And that's coming from an Arsenal fan, so very, very honest of you. What about Reading, though? They scored first and they gave it a good effort, but it's just not their season, is it?
It's just not their season, and they need to learn to defend more, to keep winning advantages and not give up that easily. Though it's easier said than done when you're actually on the pitch and you have Gareth Bale coming at you at full speed. I can just imagine some of these players will be quacking in their boots.
Okay, and on to the Gunners. Well, last time we caught up with you, Arsenal won a remarkable game, 7-3 against Newcastle, and then after all that excitement, it's a drab 1-1 draw at Southampton. Does that sort of sum them up, you know, the inconsistencies?
Well, not inconsistency, because it's more like back to business for us. Well, that shows how far Arsenal have fallen in terms of being a football giant, whereby they go and get held to a 1-1 draw against Southampton. We've all been saying this, and we'll keep on saying it. Maybe it's time we had a different look at different options that are available. If Wenger says Arsenal can now compete with any club in terms of buying a player in wages, don't say it, show us.
So, bold words from Mambo there. We need
More
signings
action
on the table, don't we?
Yeah.
Just to confirm, that was Gaston Ramirez took the lead for the Saints, and an Arsenal player couldn't even score, could he? It was a De Prado own goal, so they go from scoring 7 to not even able to score. It's kind of the tale of their season. Okay, well, that's not all the games that happened. We'll have a look ahead to tonight's fixtures, and first up we've got Chelsea versus QPR. This has got to be one of the biggest mismatches of the season. Surely a comfortable victory for Chelsea.
Well, then again, it depends which Chelsea turns up. Because Chelsea, we've seen many different sides to Chelsea, but it will be a comfortable victory to them. Piece of good news for all Chelsea fans. Chelsea have been allowed to speak to Demba Ba. So once we have that deadly combination up front with Torres, Ba, who knows?
That's a scary look. But what do you think then? I think it's probably going to be something like 4-0 to Chelsea myself.
Well, this match is a foregone conclusion. Even Harry Redknapp said even an alien can manage well at Chelsea with the amount of talent at his disposal.
What Mike's referring to there is Harry Redknapp came out in the press today. I think his use was even a dope could have success with Chelsea.
Exactly.
He's not calling Benitez a dope there, is he? But he's putting a bit of a challenge on him.
It's a bit of a challenge, but at the same time, it's just clearly saying, look, you've got a club that is willing to spend 50 million on one player and 30 million on another. 4 or 5 players in the Chelsea squad were bought for ridiculous amounts of money. How can you fail?
Okay, well, the next fixture for us to look at is tonight is Liverpool versus Sunderland. Of course, both teams had very impressive victories in their last game. Sunderland defeating Man City on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And Liverpool, which was a complete walkover, they beat QPR 3-0, and it was that man Luis Suarez again. Just how good is he?
He is very good. He's won them a couple of matches so far, and he's been performing consistently. But with Liverpool, one game they win, the next 2 or 3 games they lose. They draw another, they win another.
What about this one then? It's at home. Sunderland don't travel very well, but they will be buoyed by that win against Man City, won't they?
Yeah. For this particular match, I think Liverpool are going to win, probably by 2-0 or so.
I think I might steal that one from you as well and have 2-0. And the final game tonight is probably potentially the best game in terms of evenly matched sides. It's Newcastle versus Everton. We were just talking about Newcastle. They'll be hurt by that news that Demba Ba looks like he could be off. And of course they conceded 7 in their last game, 4 before that. They can't keep conceding like that, can they?
Yeah, and those 2 games drained a lot from them. It was quite entertaining, and they absolutely dominated the match at Arsenal, considering they played one of the best matches so far against United. So Newcastle have been up there, but Everton have been consistent, and in terms of defending, Everton can defend really well.
Yeah, and Everton up to 6th place. So would you put them, even though it's at Newcastle, would you put them favourites for this one?
I'll put them favourites for this one.
And what about Mr. Fellaini? Because I think he returns tonight. He's a big player for them, isn't he?
He is a big player for them, and I hope to see him again there next season, but it's going to look very, very unlikely.
Well, there was rumours everywhere on social networking sites because he has moved to Manchester, and obviously that brought a lot of rumours that he'll move to City or United, but he has told the papers that actually what it is he keeps getting mobbed by girls in Liverpool, and so he thinks by moving to Manchester that will help. Do you see that situation helping him?
Well, seeing Rooney's been mobbed by grannies in Manchester,
that could get us in some trouble.
Yeah. Well, hasn't he not been mobbed?
I think he probably has been mobbed, yeah.
Yeah. Girls will still mob you, Mr. Fellaini, but hopefully they're of bigger age and more experienced, and yeah, welcome to Manchester.
Okay, finally, after that brilliant piece of information, we will finish with a look at the table, and you've got United and City at the top, 7 points. Spurs into 3rd, but Chelsea, you've got 2 games in hand. You'll expect them to get back to 3rd place, won't you?
Well, I expect them to challenge, not for 3rd, but for the trophy itself, because they are that good. They have those players, and Benitez is more of a calculated manager.
He's not a dope, is he?
He's definitely not a dope. If it's about winning trophies, then he's been there, done that, and he has the T-shirt.
And your beloved Arsenal, despite inconsistent form, still there in 5th place. Champions League is what you really want, isn't it? What is what you need.
It's what we need, but at the moment, Spurs are playing better football. They're more consistent, and we'll just have to wait and see till the end of the season. But it may be the first time that Wenger misses out on a Champions League spot.
Okay, and we always look at the top of the table, but it's time to assess the sort of half-term report at the bottom end. And you've got QPR at the bottom. You know, they can't buy their way out of this. Reading and Wigan drop back into it. Now, a lot of people think Wigan will make the great escape again. Which 3 sides do you think will be relegated in May?
Usually it's the same 3 that are down there in December. No, we're in January now. So it's the same 3 that are there, but we'll just have to wait and see what players Harry brings in at QPR, and if they're able to pull Houdini. The thing is, like, the bottom 5 teams, not much separates them. So even it may be like 2 games. So if one team loses 2 games in a row, suddenly it's in trouble. Yeah. So it's not safe for any of those teams down there.
Well, whichever way you look at the table, it's all set up for a very exciting 2013. Be it the Champions League qualification, the title or relegation, we'll keep you on top of all the stories coming out of the English Premier League. So join us next time on Team Talk. Thanks for watching. I've been Liam Thorpe. He's been Mike Mambo. Good night.
Good night.